Hey everyone, Zankus here, and today we have a ton of Battlebond spoilers for you. We got 33 out of the 254 cards in the set revealed, and well, there's a few from a couple weeks ago. We'll get into that in a minute, but before we get into that, remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and click the link in the description for the giveaways that we're doing this month. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the cards. All right, we're gonna start off with the land cycle that we had spoiled for us a couple weeks ago on May 4th. First up, we have Bountiful Promenade. It is the green-white land, and it enters the battlefield tapped unless you have two or more opponents. So it's a good commander and two-headed giant card. Let's see. Next up, Luxury Suite. We have Luxury Suite enters the battlefield tapped unless you have two or more opponents. It is the black and red land card. Next up is Morphic Pool. Morphic Pool is the blue-black. Very nice. Very cool art on that. After that, we have Sea of Clouds. Sea of Clouds is the white-blue. Also, the art is really cool on these. Very, very cool. And last up, we have Spire Garden. Spire Garden is the red-green. So now that we have the lands out of the way that we saw on May 4th, let's go with the two that was done 3 days ago. Pure Imaginative Rascal. It's a 1/1 for 3, legendary human, partner with Toothy Imaginary Friend. If one or more counters will be put on a permanent, your team controls that many plus one of each of those kinds of counters are put on that permanent instead. Okay, and with Pure, we got Toothy Imaginary Friend. He's also a legendary creature. He's an illusion. It's a 4-drop for a 1/1. When you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Toothy Imaginary Friend. When Toothy leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each 1/1 counter on it. All right. So every time he gets a 1/1 counter, if you have Pure out, he's getting two 1/1s. Very cool. And shocking, we have Doubling Season. It's a mythic for 5. Everybody knows this card. Enchantment. If an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. If an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many of those counters on that permanent instead. All right, big reprint right there. Very cool. Next up, we have Pier's Whim. It's a 4-drop sorcery, green. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend searches their library for a land card, puts it into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffles their library. Each foe sacrifices an artifact or enchantment they control. All right. Got this art. It looks like Pier and Toothy are on that art, huh? All right. Fertile Ground. Fertile Ground. It's a 2-drop enchantment aura. Enchant land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. That's some good color fixing right there. Next up, we have Eager Construct. Eager Construct is an artifact creature. It's 2/2 for 2. When Eager Construct enters the battlefield, each player may scry 1. Okay, everybody gets to scry 1. We have a Peregrine Drake. It's a 2/3 for 5. A blue drake flying. When Peregrine Drake enters the battlefield, untap up to 5 lands. Okay. So he's kind of free, but you have to have the lands open to get him out, and then you get it back. Charging Binocs. It's a 2-headed rhinoceros. 2-headed triceratops, I guess. 7 and 1 green. It's a 7/5. Assist. Another player may pay up to 7 of this spell's cost. Okay, there's the assist mechanic right there. And it has trample. Next up, we have Doomed Dissenter. For 1 and a black, you get a 1/1, and when Doomed Dissenter dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Okay. After Doomed Dissenter, we have Doom Traveler. It is a 1/1 for 1 white human soldier. When Doom Traveler dies, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Okay. Next up, Soaring Show Off. It's a 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flyer. When Soaring Show Off enters the battlefield, each player draws a card. So it's not may, they do draw a card. Next up is Dagger Drone Imp. Dagger Drone Imp is a 1/1 for 1 and a black, flying lifelink. Okay, that's it. We got Expedition Raptor. 3 and 2 white for a 2/2 flyer. When Expedition Raptor enters the battlefield, support 2. And that is put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures. We got Huddle Up. Huddle Up is a sorcery for 3, 2 and a blue. Assist, another player may pay up to 2 of this spell's cost. 2 target players each draw a card. Okay. Rushblade Commander, black and a red. It's a 2/2, and warriors your team control have haste. So it's a team-wide buff instead of just a your side buff. 1 green and a white for a 3/3. When Centaur Healers enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Not bad. And it looks like it's a uncommon, common, I can't really tell. Next up, Fan Favorite. Okay, 3 and a black. You got a Human Rogue it's a 2/2 with assist 3, and for 2, Fan Favorite gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. We got Augur Spree, instant, 1 black and a red. Target creature gets +4, -4 until end of turn. Could be used as removal. Could be used as a big buff for a trampler. Get some that damage in. Now we got Shoulder to Shoulder. 2 and a white. Sorcery. Support 2. And draw a card. There you go. Dwarven Lightsmith. 5 and a white for a 3/4, but has assist. And when Dwarven Lightsmith enters the battlefield, creatures your team controls get +1/+1 until end of turn. Alright, we got Rowan Kenrith. Planeswalker, red, 4 and 2 red. Legendary, Planeswalker. During target player's next turn, each creature that player controls attacks if able. And the -2 is Rowan Kenrith, deals 3 damage to each tapped creature target player controls. And the -8 ultimate, target player gets an emblem with, whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. And partner with Will Kenrith, and Rowan Kenrith can be your commander. So obviously next up is Will Kenrith. 4 and 2 blue, you got a legendary Will. Until your next turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness of 0/3 and lose all abilities. The -2 is target player draws 2 cards. Until your next turn, instant sorceries and planeswalker spells that player casts cost 2 less to cast. And -8, target player gets an emblem whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for that copy. And partner with Rowan Kenrith, and Will Kenrith can be your commander. Alright, a few more left for today. We have Stunning Reversal. Stunning Reversal is an instant, 3 and a black. If you would lose the game this turn, instead draw 7 cards and your life total becomes 1. Exile Stunning Reversal. Okay. Grom the Great. 3 and a green for a 2/7. Partner with Vitress the Veiled. Vigilance. And Grom the Giant must be blocked if able. And Grom must be blocked by 2 or more creatures if able. And his partner, Vitress the Veiled. 2 and a black. It's a 1/1. Death Touch. Whenever Vitress the Veiled deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life. Rounded up. Okay. Gotta get in. And they lose half their life. Okay. Next up, Play of the Game. 6 and 2 white. Has assist. And exile all non-land permanents. That's a big board wipe right there. Alright, we have Mindblade Render. 1 and a black. It's a 1/3. Whenever your opponents are dealt combat damage, if any of that damage was dealt by a warrior, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Some card draw right there. It looks like a rare. And we have Archfiend of Despair. 6 and 2 black. You got a 6/6 flyer, and your opponents can't gain life. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. Okay, not bad. And that is it for today. We'll be back tomorrow if there's more tomorrow. If not, whenever they release more, we'll get that out to you. And as always, may your packs be spicy.